Ghost tent. Kim and Matt are at work in the office of the marketing company, which is located in an office building in Greenville, South Carolina. It's Friday afternoon and both are waiting to leave for the weekend. Kim is sitting at her desk. She watches Matt enter the conference room. Matt enters. The boss is sitting at the head of the table. Matt sits at the table. The boss asks, "What's your name again?" Matt answers, "Matt." Boss, "Oh. Yeah. I'll remember it after you work here a while." A man and a woman enter the conference room and sit at the table. The boss introduces the two. "You're here now. Jan and Bud. This is Matt. He started Wednesday. He's on the phones making calls. Moved here from Hillview." Jan and Bud look at Matt. They both nod. Matt to Jan and Bud, "Hello." The boss begins the meeting. "Today we're going to try out the teleconferencing on the computer." He enters something into the computer keyboard on the table. He pivots his rotating chair and looks at the blank computer screen on the wall behind him. He swivels back to the computer, enters something, and looks at the blank screen again. He rotates his chair to the keyboard. He says, "Maybe this will work." He presses more keys, swivels his chair, and looks at the blank screen. The boss remarks, "Doesn't seem to be working." He walks to the window, looks across the street, at man in window. Man in window is looking at the boss. The boss takes his cell phone out of pocket, points to it, and presses buttons. Man in window then answers his phone. Boss, talking into phone, "Looks like this isn't going to work. Just as well leave for the week and try again Monday." Man in window waves in acknowledgement and leaves window. Boss speaking to Matt, Jan, and Bud, "That's it for the week. See you all on Monday." At her desk Kim is thinking. Hope that Matt isn't a creep like these other guys. Takes forever for Friday to get over with. Kim looks across room at clock and sees the creeps looking at her. She looks at computer screen. The boss enters office from conference room. "That's all for the week. See you all Monday." Kim watches Matt leave the office. From under her desk, Kim gets her purse, which has an arm strap, and leaves the office. Matt goes to the downtown bank to cash his check. Downtown Greenville consists of a single street with 2 blocks of stores on one side the street. One of the blocks has the 1-block square town park across the street. A grocery store is across the park. The other 2 sides of the park have private homes across the street. The stores are 2-story buildings that were built during the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. A carnival for the fall festival is being set up in the park. The tents and booths are being set up across the street from the stores, with the carnival workers' vehicles and RVs at the other side of the park. The bank is at the end of the 1 block of stores across the street from the park. Inside the bank, Matt is at the head of one of the 2 lines at the bank. He is listening to a lady talk to the lady teller, for the other line, about how she did not see her check for her telephone bill on her statement. The lady said, "I sent the check to the light company last week on Tuesday and it isn't on my statement. I got in the mail on Tuesday this week." The teller replies, it takes some time for checks to get onto the statement. It will be on the next statement. The lady says, isn't that all instantly done using a computer now? The teller explained, there are instant deposits and withdrawals done using computers. The bank's computer has to connect with the light company's computer to do this. You wrote a check and sent it in the mail. It has to get to the light company first. Lady, how long does it take to get a letter to the light company? Teller, normally a company will say it takes 5 to 7 business days to receive a check in the mail. Lady, it takes that long. It never used to take that long. With all the computers around, it should take less time now than it did before. Teller, the computers don't make the mail go faster. Lady, they have that email. It's supposed to get there quicker now. Teller, to do that you have to have an account at a website on the internet. Lady, how do I do that? Teller, you make an account at a website first on your computer. Lady, I don't have a computer. Teller, public libraries have computers that you can use. The two continue talking. Matt focuses his attention to the man, wearing the overalls a farmer wears, at the teller for Matt's line. Teller, it's really a late harvest this year. That storm on July 10th had enough rain to make a difference, but it went through so fast the water just run off. Farmer, it wasn't July 10th. I remember July 10th. That's the day my youngest daughter fell out of the tree and broke her toe. The storm was on July 9th. The nurse, at the hospital, thought it was Thursday but it was Friday. The farmer leaves the bank. Matt steps up to the teller's counter. I started an account here a couple of days ago. Here's my driver's license. I would like cash for this check. Teller looks at the check and gives Matt the cash. Have a nice weekend. Matt, I hope to. Matt looks across the street at the carnival being set up as he walks towards other end of the block where he parked his car. At the center of the block he passes by the near park bar and grill. He then decides to get something to eat, so he returns to the grill. Kim, sitting in the corner, by the window, watches as Matt enters the grill. Matt goes towards the food order counter at the back. He stops behind a large crowd around the counter. Kim is thinking, about 3 or 4 inches taller than me. That should make him 5'10" or 11. Has brown hair. Clothes to my color. That would work. Clothes look worn a lot, but they're clean. That's always good. A bit overweight. At least he's not a fat slob, like I see around the office. Kim walks to Matt. There's a lot of people here. I have a table by the window. It will take less time to get something there. Want to sit there? Matt looks at the crowd. Sure. Why not? Kim and Matt walk to the table. After sitting, Kim says, "Did you move to Greenville or are you driving to work?" Matt, "No. I moved. Got everything here on Tuesday. Been working there long." Kim replies, "Started there in May. Don't know how I managed to get through the summer." Which was amazing after finding out how things worked around there. The waiter came to their table and asked if they were going to order food. Both gave their food order. Kim points at a table on the sidewalk. Kim, we'll be sitting at that table outside. Sitting outside, Matt and Kim watch two workmen as they set up a tent directly across the street. Kim, so, Matt, how old are you? Matt, I'm 26. Matt stops talking a few seconds, then continued, no, I'm 27. I had a birthday on Tuesday. Kim, yeah, you get old without knowing it. I remember in high school. I thought I would never get old. But I did. The food is brought. Matt watches Kim put ketchup from the bottle onto her plate. She puts one French fry into the ketchup and eats it. He notices her skinny fingers. He notices her long brown hair on her back. He has seen her in the office, but this is the first time he actually looked at her. Kim sees Matt looking at her, smiles and continues eating. Matt sees Kim smile, and doesn't know what to do, so he watches the two workmen cleaning up around the tent. He thinks he should say something, so he talks about the wait at the bank. Matt, I thought I would never get out of the line at the bank. When I got there were 11 people waiting and 2 tellers. After I got near the head of my line, one lady was talking to a teller about her light bill. The guy, at head of my line, was talking to the teller about how it rained last July and his daughter broke her toe. Kim, oh. That's my cousin Elizabeth. She's always breaking something. They live a couple miles north of town. She keeps trying to make her name shorter, but nothing works for her. A little embarrassed, Matt asks, do you live out of town? Kim, no. I've always lived on Creek Street. That's until my parents sold the house and moved to Florida. Now I live in an apartment by the mall. Matt, you've been to Florida? Kim, yeah. It's a nice place. It's warm. You can stay up all night there. They sit quietly and watch the two workmen put up poles near the entrance to the newly set up tent. Kim, they've been having that carnival, with the October festival, since I was in grade school. Matt, do they have a band or anything with the festival? Kim, some years they do. I'm not sure what they have this year. Matt, saw in paper they have a live band at the dance hall tonight, on Route 37. Would you like to go out there for a while? Kim, sure. When do you want to go? 8. Okay. I live on Route 37 just east of town, by the mall. It's the apartment building on the south side of the road. Apartment number 23. The two workmen put a banner on the 2 poles. On the banner are the words Ghost Tent. Matt says jokingly, there's a ghost in the tent. Kim stares at the banner, oh yeah. A ghost. Hope he's not a scary one. Inside the ghost tent, chairs sit on the park grass, in front of a platform with a podium on it. There is a table beside the entrance, with a chair at the table. Charlie, the ghost in the tent, stares at Kim and Matt, with an expression of confusion on his face. He is wearing clothing of the 1900 decade. A confused Charlie is thinking, where is this place? It's the tent. I'm watching. Charlie watches Matt and Kim. Charlie, who am I watching for? The two workmen enter the tent. Charlie vanishes. The dance hall is 1/2 mile east of the mall on Route 37. Matt and Kim enter the dance hall. Kim has her shoulder-strap purse. Kim sits at the bar, just inside the door. Matt, following along, sits beside her. Kim says nothing. The bartender brings Kim a drink. The bartender looks at Matt. Want something? Matt asks, Diet Coke. The bartender gets him a Diet Coke. Kim, let's get a table. The dance floor has a country wooden fence around it. They sit at a table beside the fence. As soon as they sit down, a line dance song plays. Kim goes to an entrance to the dance floor, onto the floor, and dances the line dance. After the music stops, Joyce, a girl about Kim's age, starts talking with Kim. They are too far away for Matt to hear what they are saying. Kim is more listening than talking. The conversation ends and Kim returns to her seat. Kim informs Matt, that's Joyce. She never talks to me. She only said something 'cause I'm with you. She always steals the boys. Stay away from her. Matt, okay. Do they have anything to eat here? Kim, they have a microwave in the back. All they do is heat up the type of sandwiches you buy in vending machines and charge twice as much for them. They have some free popcorn around sometimes. A new line dance song starts. Kim, do you know how to do this one? Matt, I'll give it a try. They both go onto the floor. With coaching from Kim, Matt completes the dance. A line dance song, which Matt is familiar with, starts and both dance to that one. A slow song starts. They remain on the floor and dance to the slow song. Then they return to the table. During the evening the dance floor is crowded between 9 o'clock and 11:30. Matt and Kim are on the dance floor most of the time doing line dances. Then people start to leave. Around 11:45 Matt and Kim sit at their table, when a girl going around the outside, on the dance floor, stumbles, and falls across the fence. Matt and Kim pick up their empty drink glasses. The girl slides over their table, and lands on the floor. The people with her, help her up. Matt and Kim continue to sit. Around 12 Matt sits at the table, watching the dancers, when the waitress speaks to him. Waitress, that's $4.50. Matt, I never ordered anything. Matt looks at Kim. Kim digs in her purse for money. Kim, I ordered it. Matt, I can pay for it. Kim, no. I wanted it. So I'll pay for it. Kim finds the money and gives it to the waitress. Matt, $4.50 is too much to pay for a drink. Kim, I know. It has lemonade in it. They consider it a special drink and charge a fortune for it. Then they change the price each week so you never know what it costs. After Kim drinks half of the drink, they both realize it's after 12 and decide it's time to leave. Then a slow dance starts so they dance to it. Kim stops at the restroom as they leave. Matt waits around the bar for Kim. Joyce comes to Matt. Joyce walks over to Matt and says, "Hi. There. What's your name? Anyway." Matt answers, Matt, and adds, humorously, "Kim said, I'm not to talk to you. You steal all the boys." Joyce is angered and begins to reply, "Why, that." Kim, a few feet away, overhears this and an angry expression appears on her face. The bartender loudly states, "That's all for tonight, folks. We're closing in 15 minutes. Have a good rest of the evening." Matt walks to Kim. "Matt, ready to go?" Kim looking at Joyce, "Yes." Matt and Kim leave the dance hall. Kim and Matt enter Kim's apartment. The clock on the wall says 10 after 1. Matt sits on the couch. Kim sits in a chair. After sitting a while, Kim sees Matt is half asleep. She goes to the bedroom, lays down on the bed, and falls asleep. Matt wakes in the morning and enters the bathroom. He opens the door to leave and sees what looks like a white scales on the floor, inside the door. He starts to step on it. Kim, shouting, "No! That's my computer. It's charging." Matt, "It looks like a scales." Kim, "I know." Kim walks behind the kitchen counter. Puts the last pastry, in a box of toaster pastries, into the microwave, and presses cook. Kim, "Do you want breakfast?" Matt, "Breakfast? It's almost 10 o'clock. Kim, "What?" Kim looks at clock. The sale starts at 9. "I need to get there before all the jeans are taken." They quickly leave the apartment and Matt drives his car across the road to the mall. Kim goes to the store with signs 30 to 50% off. Matt follows along. Kim rubbishes around a while in a table full of jeans. Kim, disappointedly, "They don't have my size. If all those fat girls would quit buying too small sizes, there would be something here that fits me." Kim and Matt leave store. Kim, "I need to check my email." Matt and Kim walk through the center of the mall where people are gathered for something. Kim goes to the electronics store and checks her email on one of their display computers. There is nothing she needs to respond to and they return to the center of the mall. In the crowded center of the mall is two groups, one wearing red t-shirts and one wearing blue t-shirts, line up facing each other. 2 racks of cream-filled pies are wheeled in. Each person in the 2 groups picks out 2 pies. A whistle blows and each group starts throwing pies at the other group. A girl wearing 2 small jeans throws a pie at another girl who is running in front of Kim. The pie misses the girl and hits Kim. Kim runs to the shelf of pies, grabs one, chases the girl, in the 2 small jeans, and hits her with the pie. The girl gets mad and rushes at Kim, attempting to push Kim down. Kim quickly moves. The girl slides on the floor, and falls down. Kim runs to the rack and grabs another pie. Kim runs back to the girl on the floor and holds the pie up to throw the pie at the girl. Karen, a female security person, hurries over, shouting at Kim, "Put that down." Kim, shouting at Karen, "Ah! Shut up." Karen. Karen, shouting at Kim, "I'm working here." You can't talk to me like that. Get out the mall. Matt hurries over to Kim. Matt clearly states to Karen, she's with me. She'll be okay. I'll take care of her. Karen, calming down some, she'll never be okay. She's been this way for years. Matt and Kim walking toward the exit. Kim looking at the girl in the tight jeans as Matt is pulling Kim along. Matt and Kim go to the carnival at the downtown park. The park is crowded. They walk around the craft market in the street and see the stage set up. Matt and Kim walk to the grocery store the other side the park to buy lunch. Kim and Matt are in the store and have bread, cheese, ham, potato chips, and a 6-pack of soda in their cart. Their cart sits in a wide aisle. They look at energy bars in a narrow aisle. They are returning to their cart in the wide aisle. They watch a lady pushing her cart fast come out of a side aisle, runs into their cart, and knocks it over. The lady, without stopping, hurries faster, down the wide aisle and turns her cart down a narrow side aisle. Matt and Kim stand a while, looking at their cart turned on its side on the floor. Kim, hit and run driver. Matt and Kim laugh. The laughter is so much, it takes a couple of minutes to stop. Then they pick up their cart, pay for lunch and return to the park. Matt and Kim find a picnic table, sit at the table and eat lunch. Charlie in the ghost tent is watching them as they eat. Charlie's expression changes from that of interest when looking at Kim to that of confusion when looking at Matt. An eerie silence is in the tent around the ghost. There are no carnival sounds in the tent. Lester, the owner of the tent and the writer of the book Spirits of the West, enters the tent. He sees no ghost and hears nothing of the outside carnival sounds. Lester, what? As Lester is listening and the carnival sounds begin to be heard. Matt and Kim finish eating and walk around the park. They pass a tent, where a stand-up comedy show has just begun. They buy tickets and enter the tent. The comedian is on stage and has started the show. Comedian stops and waits for laugh. During pauses a few people laugh. Comedian, I was going to a box store the other day. They had this massive parking lot. So I went to the front to park close to the door. Saw the signs for handicap only. Then I drove a little farther away from the door. Then I saw signs for expected mothers only. So I drove away some more and saw a sign for senior citizens only. So I drove away some more. Who they going to have parking spaces reserved for next? The person wearing a blue shirt. The person with the white dog. Pretty soon you'll be in the store's parking lot across the street. Just as well go there, to begin with. Well, I finally got a spot and got into the store. Then they have these things that beep to catch people stealing things. Actually, that's what they want you to believe. They're really not. They're to read your mind. So the store knows what you are looking for as you enter the store. Then they can have someone put those 2 high pallets full of stuff right in front of what you are hunting for so you can't find it. After that, I ran into the guys around the entrance who want to talk to you. I didn't know what to say. I just wanted to get in the store and buy a hedge clipper. So I tried to maneuver around them, but they still said something, I don't know what. I just agreed with them and got into the store. I finally got a cart and started hunting for a hedge clipper. I wandered the aisles a while. You know what they need on the cart is one of them GPS talking things that you can put in hedge clippers and it will say walk forward 20 feet, turn left, and guide you to the hedge clippers. Well, after stumbling through the maze of aisles, I finally found the shelf with hedge clippers. I picked one up, held it to get a good look at it. Then I looked above me. On the top shelf, there was a pallet of cement blocks. Why do they have to put the heavy stuff way up there on the top? You think they would put pillows up there? It probably cause, if the pallet falls and you get hit on the head with a cement block, you would be dead, and the store wouldn't have to listen to you complain about heavy stuff being on the highest shelf, waiting to fall on you. Well, it was all too scary for me, so I left the hedge clipper behind and made it to the door and out of the parking lot. The comedian keeps telling jokes for around a half an hour and concludes. Kim and Matt leave the tent. After walking around, Matt and Kim are leaving the park. They walk to Matt's car along a side street at the end of the block of stores, opposite of where the bank is. Elizabeth walks around the bank corner. Elizabeth is 14 years old, has light brown hair which is parted in the center and extends to her neckline. She is of the Northern European ancestry, 5 foot 5 inches tall, and has below average weight. Elizabeth has her purse, which has an arm strap. She walks on the sidewalk past the stores, to the bar and grill. She walks across the street into the park. She watches a girl, Sally, sitting behind a table in front of the ghost tent, with books about the West for sale on the table. A sign taped to hang down from the front of the table has written on it Spirits of the West $15. Lester comes out of the tent and says something, not heard by Elizabeth, to Sally. Sally then enters the tent and Chester sits behind the table. Elizabeth walks around the carnival, then goes into the street to the craft market. She is at a table looking at Halloween crafts. Sally is there looking at the crafts. Sally, to Elizabeth, do you know how long the craft market lasts? Elizabeth, they start packing up and leaving around 2. Then they have some things on the stage. Then tonight around 7 or 8 they have a band. Sally, what kind of music does the band play? Elizabeth, mostly country. Some rock thrown in. Sally, looking at stage in disappointment, that's what's it like being with the carnival. You miss a lot of the things you want to do. Tonight my uncle has 3 shows and I need to be there for all of them. Saturday is the night we make the most money. Elizabeth, I saw you at the tent that says ghost tent above it. How long you been with the carnival? Sally, I've only have been going along the last 3 summers. My uncle has been doing it year-round for almost 20 years now. He sells books about the Old West and has a show about ghosts in the West. He wrote his own books about stories he has heard for 20 years about ghosts and he tries to sell his own book. He makes more money if he sells his own book instead of others. He has a show where he tells about a ghost who robbed a bank in Texas 100 years ago. Now the ghost is supposed to be in the tent and goes with him to the different towns. Elizabeth, I wouldn't want to be around a tent with a ghost in it. Sally, I've been with him in the tent for 3 years now. Haven't seen a ghost. The book has the legends about ghosts. Don't know if there was a ghost. So I think it's okay to be around a tent with a ghost. Where there's no ghost. Elizabeth, just what do you do? Sally, I sit at the table and sell a few books now and then. I sell tickets. And I hide behind the stage, during the show, and make ghost sounds. Elizabeth, it must be great to get around and see different places. Sally, it is, but you get there and have to leave again. There's no time to do anything. We might get to Colorado or New Mexico. Last summer we got to California. Elizabeth, did you go to Hollywood? Sally, no. We went down to San Diego, somewhere. We did spend a couple of hours at a beach. Got to see the Pacific Ocean. Look like the Atlantic, except there are mountains near the coast. They look like they are going into the water. Matt and Kim go to a discount store on Route 37. Matt buys some new clothes to replace the worn ones he's been wearing most of the week. Kim found a pair of blue jeans that fit. Matt and Kim return to Kim's apartment at supper time. They have the leftover lunch on the kitchen table. The bread, ham, and cheese looks inedible, so they are thrown out. The leftover potato chips still look good, so they are kept. Kim thinks a while. She opens the refrigerator, and then the freezer compartment door. She finds 3 frozen TV dinners. Lays them on the table. There is a turkey one, a rice one, and a spaghetti one. Matt decides to eat the spaghetti one and Kim decides to eat the turkey one. Kim puts the rice one back into the freezer compartment. Kim opens the microwave to put in the TV dinners and find the burnt pastry from that morning. She throws it away and heats the TV dinners. They eat supper, change into their new clothes. Kim takes her purse, which has an arm strap, and they return to the festival. Matt and Kim return to the festival. The craft market booths are not there. The stage has a band playing on it. A large crowd is near the stage. Many are dancing. Matt and Kim walk in the street and pass the grill. There is an empty table by the edge of the grill with 4 chairs. Kim, let's get some chairs. Matt and Kim each get a chair from the table and carry it to beside the curb by the stage. Kim puts her purse beside her chair. They sit and watch the dancers. Whenever a country song plays, they dance to it. Kim looks at a hot dog booth in the park. Kim, I think I'll get a hot dog. Do you want one? Matt, okay. Kim, you just stay here. I'll get it. What do you want on yours? Matt, everything. Except mustard. Kim, okay. I'll get a couple of Cokes, too. Kim goes into the park to the hot dog booth. Elizabeth, who Matt has never seen, stops beside Kim's chair. Elizabeth says nothing, puts her purse, which has an arm strap, beside Kim's purse. Then goes into the street and joins a line dance in progress. Kim returns with the hot dogs. Matt, pointing at Elizabeth, that girl came here and put her purse down and started dancing. Kim, that's Elizabeth. She's a freshman now. She needs to get all the dancing in she can. Never know when she will need to use it. There's a lot of good-looking boys in the freshman class. Matt, does she always leave her purse with strangers? Kim, you're not a stranger. I told her who you were. Matt, when did you do that? We've been with each other since yesterday afternoon. I haven't seen her. Kim, you started work on Wednesday. I told her then. Matt, oh. The line dance ends and Elizabeth comes over to Kim. Elizabeth, where did you get the hot dogs? Kim, at the booth over there. Want one? Elizabeth, yet. Hardly had anything to eat for supper. Kim, to Matt, get Elizabeth a hot dog. We want to talk a while. Matt gives Kim his hot dog, Coke, and starts walking to the hot dog stand. Kim, to Matt, no onions. Get a Coke too. Elizabeth sits in Matt's chair. Elizabeth, he's kind of cute. Where did you get him from? Kim, he works in the office, like I said. Moved here from Hillview. Elizabeth, need some better looking guys in that office. Kim ignoring the remark, so what happened with Barry at school? Elizabeth, I wore the blue jeans like you said, but he didn't even look at me. Kim, he does have a sister. Next year, she will be a freshman. You could get to know her. Elizabeth, next year I'll be a sophomore. I don't want to hang around a freshman. Kim, there's not that many people around Greenville to hang around with. Elizabeth, I know that. All Cynthia and Sharon do is feed chickens. Brenda is the smart sister. She moved to North Carolina and found a boyfriend. I can't wait till I get out of this place. Kim, we can go to the beach. Elizabeth, it takes an hour to get to the beach. Need to go to New York to see a show. Or to California. To Hollywood where all the movie stars live. Kim, need to take a vacation to go to those places. The high school play. You can be in that. Elizabeth, who cares about the high school play? Brenda was in it. Mom ran around, like Brenda was a big star, for weeks. Elizabeth, after thinking a bit, why don't you move to Florida? I can go there. Kim, I have a job now. I need to keep making money. Maybe someday we can go to Florida for a weekend. Elizabeth, can we take Matt along? Kim, I don't know if we can take Matt along. Elizabeth, he's your boyfriend. You should find out. Kim, your boyfriend isn't only someone you spend time with. You have to get to know someone for a while first. We just went over to the dance hall for a while last night. Joyce is beside the stage. Randy, wearing clothes that are manufactured to look like old clothes, is there. He's around 30 years old. He is carrying an expensive camera. He walks from behind stage to Joyce. Joyce and Randy walk to the front of the stage. Randy takes photographs of the band. Joyce and Randy walk behind the stage. Elizabeth, there's Joyce with that strange guy that takes pictures all the time. How come I always see her running around with these guys? Kim, Don't pay attention to anything Joyce does. Matt returns with the hot dog. Gives it to Elizabeth. Kim stands up, gives Matt his hot dog. Kim, I'll be back in a minute. Matt sits by Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how old are you? Matt, 27. Elizabeth, you're too old for Kim. Tell her you're 23. She won't know the difference. Matt, she knows how old I am. Who's this Joyce? What is between Kim and her? Elizabeth, I don't know. She lives on the west side of town. I see her around all the time. She seems to go where Kim goes. Matt, Kim said her parents moved to Florida. Are they retired? Elizabeth, I don't think so. They just moved there for some reason. I'm glad Kim didn't go with them. Without her here, I would have nothing to do. Matt, what do you and Kim do? Elizabeth, anything. 3 weeks ago, on a Saturday afternoon, we went to the dance hall. There was a band there. For some reason they started at 1 in the afternoon. So all ages could go. It cost $10 each to get in. Kim wore her short cut-off blue jeans, but she had to pay to get in, anyway. Of course, I had to pay. That Joyce wore her short cut-off blue jeans and she never had to pay to get in. That isn't fair. If one person has to pay, everyone should have to pay. Matt, seems Joyce is around a lot. Elizabeth, I know. I hate her. She should just stay home. Kim returns. A line dance starts. They all dance to the line dance. A second one starts. They in a crowd that fills the street dance to that one. Elizabeth, Kim, and Matt return to the chairs. Elizabeth grabs her shoulder strap purse. Elizabeth, I think I'll walk around the park a while. Elizabeth walks into the park. Matt and Kim sit down. Matt talks to Kim about Elizabeth. Matt, I don't think Elizabeth likes Joyce. Kim, can't blame her. Joyce is always chasing the boys. Matt, yeah. I noticed. Seems to be a lot of boy chasing around here. Kim, you mean Elizabeth? Don't be concerned about her. Matt, she needs to get along with people better. Kim, I'll take care of Elizabeth. She's just fine. There's not a thing to do around this town, is the trouble. Glad my parents moved to Florida. I can go down there now. Matt, okay. Elizabeth's okay. Kim, you know Elizabeth was thinking about going to Florida. And you asked about Florida. Maybe we could all get together and go there for a weekend. Matt, fine with me. Kim, Elizabeth been wanting to get out of her ever since her sister moved to North Carolina. It should do her good to get away for a weekend. A song for a line dance starts. Kim, let's dance. They dance to the dance. A slow song starts. They dance to that one. They walk to the chairs. The waiter from the grill is there getting the chairs. Waiter, we need these chairs for the customers. Singer, on stage, we're taking our last break now. Be back in 20 minutes. Matt and Kim walk around the carnival. They run into Elizabeth. All of them are in the park beside the stage. The three start to joke around with each other a little. Kim tells Elizabeth about all of them going to Florida. Elizabeth, how about next weekend? Kim, we can't just up and leave. We have jobs. Need to arrange things first. Maybe after our Thanksgivings. Elizabeth walks along stage by herself. Joyce and Randy walk from behind the stage to the corner of the stage. Joyce walks toward Kim. Joyce, Randy wants to take some pictures of Elizabeth in front of the stage. Kim, what does he want to do that for? Joyce, he's a photographer. That's what he does. Kim, okay. But if she wants, she'll want to keep the pictures. Joyce, he'll give her copies of all the pictures. I can give them to you sometime. Kim, I'll see what Elizabeth says about it. Kim goes over to Elizabeth. Joyce said that Randy guy wants to take some pictures of you in front of the stage. Elizabeth, what do I care? Why would I care what Joyce said? Why would he want to take a picture of me anyway? Kim, he's a photographer. You'll get some pictures for free. You just as well. They might be good pictures. Elizabeth, well. Okay. Elizabeth walks to the front of the stage. Kim follows along. Elizabeth says to Kim, while looking at Randy, he's going to take the pictures or not? Kim, speaking loudly to Randy, we're ready for the pictures. Randy comes over. Elizabeth poses with her birthday and Christmas smile as she has been doing for years. Randy takes a photograph. Randy, I want you to be watching the band. I'll stand over here and take the picture. The guy walks to the corner of the stage. Randy, now watch the band. Elizabeth, the band is on break. Randy, look at the stage as if you are watching the band. Kim goes to Elizabeth and says quietly, think of the boy on the drums. Imagine he's sitting behind the drums. Look at the boy on the drums. Elizabeth follows Kim's instructions. Randy takes 2 pictures. He walks along the stage, coming closer to Elizabeth. He crunches down on both bent knees. He takes a picture. Randy, just like that. Elizabeth doesn't know what to do and looks at Randy. Randy, keep looking at the stage. Elizabeth looks at the imagined boy on the drums, while seeing Randy move near the stage in front of her and to the park side of the stage, clicking pictures all the time. Randy, that's good. Some great shots. Thanks a lot. Randy does not wait for a reply, instead he goes back to behind the stage. Elizabeth starts the talk with Kim about why the guy took all those pictures. Elizabeth was wondering whether the guy thought she was a model or something. Kim and Matt joke around some about Elizabeth being a model or a star. Elizabeth, someone is the model or the star. There are models in New York and there are stars in Hollywood. Do you think I could be one of them? Kim, Elizabeth, you can be one of them. I don't know if you will be one of them. Don't listen to people that say you cannot be something. You work with people to be the model or star. People think you are the model or star. You fool people. You don't really become anything. Elizabeth's father walks into the park. He is wearing the same overalls that he wore in the bank. Elizabeth's father, to Elizabeth, it's time to go home. Elizabeth, to Kim, I have to go now. See you next week. Kim, see you. Kim and Matt watch as Elizabeth and her father walk to the pickup truck, which is parked in the side street across the street from the park, behind other vehicles parked in the parking spots. The front of the truck is facing away from the park. Elizabeth's father gets in the driver's side. Elizabeth gets in the passenger's side. The truck drives, away from the park, down the side street past the homes on both sides. Matt and Kim continue watching as Elizabeth leaves in the pickup truck. Kim, this is a night to remember. Kim and Matt watch Joyce and Randy go to the sidewalk in front of the pub and get a table. Matt, should Joyce be hanging around with him? Kim, the question is, should he be hanging around with her? Matt, is he supposed to be some enlightened hippie or something? Kim, nobody knows what he's supposed to be. He lives somewhere over toward the coast. I see him around here now and then. He's always taking pictures of farms and nature type things. No one knows for sure. He hangs around the pub. People only go there when they have something in the park. Charlie is watching from the stage. He no longer knows why he is watching. He knows he is looking for someone. He does not know why. Charlie sees Joyce and Randy at table in front of the pub. Joyce and Randy are at a table on the sidewalk, just outside the door. There is a chocolate chip cookie on a plate in front of Joyce. Joyce picks up the cookie, takes a bite and places the remainder of the chocolate chip cookie on the plate. For Charlie, it's spring 1902. He's in his home in New Orleans. Clara is there. Charlie and Clara are in their den. Charlie is dressed in a formal suit of the 1902 time period. Clara is dressed formally. He watches Clara sitting at the table in the center of the den. She places the remainder of the chocolate chip cookie on the plate, on the table. Clara, we have to agree on this. We need to get the money to get this house paid off. We've been paying for almost 15 years. We only need 6 more months to have it paid for. We don't need that much more money. Charlie, I don't want to go and leave you here. Maybe I can get my old job back at the docks. Clara, there are no jobs here now. Nobody has gotten a job for months. The best thing is to just go to Houston and get the job there, if you can. If you can't get that job, find something else. Just get the money. Charlie, this is running off. What are you and the kids going to do? Clara, the kids are in school most the time. At home here, Dan can take care of Ellen. Charlie, Dan is 9. Ellen is 6. Neither one can take care of themselves. You can't expect Dan to care for Ellen. Clara, they'll both have to learn to take care of themselves. Everybody has to do it sometime. We can't keep doing things as we have done since Christmas. It just isn't going to work anymore. Charlie, still you'll need money here. Clara, I can get a job at Gators. People are always leaving there and they always need new people. Charlie, people leave there because it's the worst place in town. Why else would people leave when there is no place else to work? Clara, I can work there a few hours 2 or 3 days a week. That should be enough to get by on. But no job there is enough to get the money we need to pay off this house. Charlie paces back and forth. Charlie, I guess it's best I go. But it's like I'm running out on you. Clara stands and paces nervously. Go to Houston. Come back with the money. Get it any way you can. I won't ask how you got it. And if you can't get it, come back. Clara continues, I don't care if you get the money or not. We'll have to find out what to do later. Just come back. Clara and Charlie walk through the entranceway. Charlie opens his home's door and walks out. Charlie is in the tent. He is confused. He is watching people in the park. He doesn't know why he is watching people. He knows he is looking for somebody. When the band took their last break, Matt and Kim decided to walk around the carnival. The largest crowd of the day was there and the carnival workers were eagerly coaxing people into their booths and attractions as the crowd mingled around. Matt and Kim are passing the entrance of the ghost tent. Lester, Spirits of the West. Show about to start. Get your ticket and go right in. Sally is sitting at the table just outside the entrance, selling tickets. A line of people are at the table, buying tickets, and entering the tent. As Matt and Kim walk by, Lester waves them over. Lester, come on in. The show's about to start. Matt, what to go in? Kim, sure. Why not? They purchase tickets and enter. They found 2 chairs in the back at the center aisle. The tent was full and Lester comes onto a small stage from behind a curtain in back of the stage. Charlie is watching the audience from behind the curtain. Lester, welcome everybody. I'm Lester. Tonight I'll be telling you about the spirits and apparitions that been roaming the West for generations. He starts with legends of the West as passed down through the Indian tribes. Then he continues with the legends from the cowboys who came to the West. These were passed on to the early pioneers going west as they encountered the American Indians. The Indian tribes have retold these stories for many generations. These were from the Western Plain and Mountain States and were passed back to the East by stories. I have collected them and to preserve them I have put together an anthology entitled Spirits of the West, which is on the table at the rear of the tent. For tonight's special price of $15, you can take one home. Lester tells about various tales of the West, some unusual, some mysterious. Then he tells of the ghost in the tent. Lester, the tent you are in has its place in the legends passed down. The legend of the ghost tent says that in the spring of 1902, out of desperation for money, the 3 men, only known by their first names, Bob, Wilbur, and Charlie robbed the bank in Sage Gulch, just outside of Houston, Texas. They got out of town with the money. But before the end of the day the sheriff and posse were closing in on them. They came across an old mine shed and hid the money there. The sheriff and posse were led away from the mine shed and the robbers were caught. All were taken back to Sage Gulch, but since they had no money with them, they were not charged with the robbery and let go. They returned to the mine shed to get the money and go their separate ways. Charlie, Bob, and Wilbur went into the shed to divide the money. Bob and Wilbur turned against Charlie, locked him in the shed, and took his share of the money. 2 years later, a group of Carnival workers were passing through the area. They were lost and saw the shed, stopped, and unlocked the shed. They saw a tent and loaded it into their wagon. The tent you are sitting in now is that tent. Then they found the skeleton of Charlie. They panicked and quickly got back on the wagon to continue on their way. The spirit of Charlie saw the wagon leave and entered into the tent. Charlie remained with the tent as it traveled the west. He spent years looking for Bob and Wilbur to get his revenge. Then on October 27, 1928, the tent on a truck was going through Oklahoma. The driver saw a tornado as it approached. He jumped from the truck. He watched as the tornado picked the truck up and it disappeared into the sky, never to be seen again. Charlie disappeared with the tent. Or so the story goes. In 1995, I heard this story in Kansas from an old lady selling antiques from the garage behind her home. She had the tent in her garage. I purchased it and you are sitting in it today. The same tent that the spirit of Charlie entered into in 1902. Sometimes in the night strange sounds are heard in this tent. The audience is hearing strange sounds from the tent. Sally is behind the curtain making the sounds. Unseen by Sally, Charlie is behind the curtain watching her as she makes the sounds. Charlie in his confusion is thinking, "What is this? I hear that and see this. Why is this? I am watching for Bob and Wilbur. This is not right. I will watch. I will find who I am looking for." Kim jokingly says to Matt, "Sounds scary to me." She says it much too loud. Everyone in the tent hears it. Charlie, behind the curtain, hears it. Charlie looks at Kim, still with the confusion on his face. Then Charlie looks at Matt. The expression on his face changes from confusion to the expression of recognition. Charlie remembers Matt. Charlie watches Matt. Lester ends the show. Lester, the spirits of the West on sale at the back table, tonight only, $15. Matt and Kim sit a while as others leave the tent. Some bought the book from Sally, others did not. Matt and Kim leave the tent. Lester is in front of the tent. He walks over to Matt and Kim. "Lester, you should not make fun of things you don't understand. The spirits are powerful." Matt and Kim watch Lester as he walks to an RV parked on the other side of the park and enters the RV. The band had quit playing and the earlier full street is now empty. A few people are still leaving the park. Matt and Kim walk past the booths, now closed for the day. Charlie follows, unseen, just steps behind. Matt and Kim walk toward the edge of the park. The eerie silence fell onto the park. They looked around, heard nothing and saw nobody. They see a corner of a tent move. They walked to the corner and looked around. A dog with an ear of corn in his mouth looked up at them, in a panic. The dog growls. Matt and Kim hear the growl of the dog. The sounds of the park could be heard. They turned and walked towards the edge of the park. Kim stops. Kim sees Charlie in their path. Matt sees nothing. Kim walks toward Charlie. Kim stops in front of Charlie and pushes him with both hands. Kim falls to the ground through Charlie. Matt runs through Charlie and kneels on the ground by Kim. Matt, in amazement, what are you doing? Are you okay? Kim, it's the ghost. He's right there. Matt looks up and sees Charlie, staring down at both of them. Charlie continues the stare. Matt and Kim hold onto each other. Charlie disappears. Matt lifts up Kim and runs toward the park edge, pushing Kim in front of him. Kim runs faster. She reaches the edge of the park and turns around. Matt is standing motionless 30 feet from the edge of the park. Charlie stands 20 feet behind Matt. Steel rods come up from the ground and surrounds Matt. They curve above him and clamp together above his head. Matt inside, grabs the solid bars of the cage. Kim runs to Matt and reaches inside the bars to grab Matt. Charlie stands and watches. Kim glares at the ghost stare and runs toward Charlie. Charlie's face shows fright and Charlie vanishes. Kim continues running to Lester's RV behind the ghost tent. Kim, pounding on the door and shouting, "Get out here!" A light goes on in the trailer. Lester, from inside the RV, "What do you want?" Kim, shouting, "Your ghost got Matt." The door quickly opens. Lester, "What?" "My ghost got Matt." Kim points to Matt in the cage. Kim, "Yes. Your ghost got Matt." Lester looks at the cage with Matt inside. Lester looks at Charlie standing beside the cage. Lester, "Oh. No. He's here." Kim, "What do we do?" From inside the door Lester picks up a copy of Spirits of the West. He opens it and shows Kim the drawing of 3 men. Kim recognizes 2 of them, Charlie and Matt. Kim, "What is this?" Lester, "That is a drawing of Charlie, Bob, and Wilbur." Points at Wilbur in the drawing. "That's Wilbur, not your boyfriend." Kim, "Oh. Oh." Kim grabs the book and runs to Matt in the cage. Lester runs after her. Others have gathered around the ghost and the caged Matt. All are keeping their distance. Kim runs to Matt. Holding the book up to show Matt the picture. Kim, "The ghost thinks you are this guy in the picture. He's one of the guys that left him locked in the shed." Kim walks to Charlie and holds the picture in the book in his face. Kim, "This is a drawing of you, Bob, and Wilbur." Kim points at Matt. Kim, "That is not Wilbur." Charlie looks to the drawing and looks at Matt. Charlie, "He is." Kim, "No. No. That was 110 years ago." Charlie shows a look of bewilderment. Charlie in astonishment, 110 years. Kim, "Yes. That happened 110 years ago. Bob and Wilbur are not here now." Charlie stares at the cage. Charlie says nothing. Kim says nothing. The group, gathered at their safe distance, say nothing. Charlie's expression slowly changes to a confused and hopeless expression. The rods unmerge and slowly return to the ground. Matt runs to Kim's side. Charlie stands in a confused and hopeless state. Kim, there's nothing that can be done now, it's too long ago. Charlie continued his confusion and hopelessness look. Kim, we can't go back into time and change things. Charlie's expression changes as he receives the idea. His face changes to an expression of satisfaction. Kim, what happened? Then she said it, you can go back into time. Charlie, yes. I will go back. Clara is there. I have been looking for Clara. Charlie vanishes. Charlie and Clara are sitting at the table in the den in 1902 in their home in New Orleans. Clara, it's hard to believe how things work. 3 days ago you left this room for Houston. Today you're here. The first day at your old job must have been like in a trance. Charlie, yes it was. Everybody was back. It's hard to imagine that just 3 days ago I was sitting at the train station waiting to board the train to Houston. Then I saw the boss. He said he was in New York and they signed a contract to unload and reload 3 ships a week at dock. There'll be enough work till next summer at least. Matt and Kim walk out of the park.